In many ways, the coronavirus has made growing older even more of a challenge. But could it possibly be a kind of fountain of youth as well? Aging in the midst of a pandemic. Why I'm feeling like a kid again. Next, on The Friar Place. Stay tuned. When I get older, losing my hair many years from now, will you still be sending me some valentines, birthday greetings, bottles of wine? If I stayed out till 2:45, would you lock the door? Would you still need me? Would you still feed me when I'm 64? So I'm old enough to remember when that Beatles song first came out, which admittedly makes me pretty darn old. Now, up until the pandemic, I thought I'd been handling this whole aging thing pretty well. I'd been trying to take care of myself, accepting certain limitations that come with being an older person. And I've tried not to take it personally when the World Health Organization and the CDC and Dr. Anthony Fauci tell all of us baby boomers and silent generation folk to just stay inside, given how fragile and vulnerable all of us are. Makes sense. But it also feeds into what I've just discovered is a pretty significant prejudice that I harbor. You see, I've had to admit to myself and now to you that I had been an ageist. Someone who is prejudiced against people based on their age. Well, actually, not people in general, just myself. So I guess you'd call that internalized ageism? How did I come to that realization, you might ask? I know exactly how, and I'll tell you. But first, a little bit of personal history. My relationship with the passage of time and so aging has been barely civil at best. Looking back on my life, I realize now that I've pretty consistently considered this inescapable reality as kind of scary. And it seemed that the older I got, the faster time flew by. Like sand through the hourglass. Now, truth be told, this attitude of mine towards the passage of time and getting older has had its benefits. In fact, I attribute a lot of what I've been able to accomplish in life because of it. Like going back to school the times I did. Because I knew I had to. But what I've just discovered is how self-limiting this mindset has become over the years. And it's all because of this pandemic. It made it impossible for me to be the traveling friar minstrel I had planned on being. It forced me, as it has so many others, to reinvent myself, which led to my new YouTube channel, The Friar Place. It compelled me to learn new skills and develop proficiencies in things I would never have considered otherwise because I thought I was too old.
You look so old.
I had given into a form of ageism that could have resulted in my having fewer and fewer new experiences and encounters, not growing and developing in surprising ways as I am now. I was well on the road to undervaluing and dismissing myself out of hand. Now, the prospect of having to learn all the things you have to in order to build a YouTube channel, produce and edit videos, all while navigating the menacing waters of social media was more than a little intimidating. I worried, could I handle this new digital world? It seemed kind of scary. I mean, it's not like I didn't have any experience in communication arts. I do have an undergraduate degree in that. But really, it was a long, long time ago. And frankly, I worried whether or not anything that I learned then would apply now. I mean, technology has changed a lot since then. But surprisingly, I've been able to do it. Certainly not as well as some, but given the lack of confidence I had at the outset, I must say, not too shabbily. I've had to familiarize myself with terms like bit data and Kelvin units, data compression, Foley, high definition media interface, L-cuts, memory cards, nonlinear editing, pixel, aspect ratio, synchronization, and the rule of thirds. Phew. It was like learning a new language, and at my age.
You look so old.
So here's the good news. Being able to do all of this, such as I have, has made me feel like a kid again. I'm experiencing some of the same emotions and feelings I did when I was young. When I learned how to strum my first guitar chords, or how to render shadows in oil paint, or after thinking I'd never be able to do it, translating the Binding of Isaac from Hebrew into English.
Dad, you sure about this?
They may say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, here's an old dog that begs to differ. Are any of you limiting yourself and your potential like I did? Take it from me, you're never too old to be young. Oh, by the way, just a few months ago, I thought I'd learned how to play all the instruments I ever would in my life. Wait till you see the one I'm trying to learn right now. Peace and all good.